This video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 timeless manifestation techniques that will change your life. These are things that once I began to apply in my life, it changed everything. I always come back to them, and I think that if you apply them, you'll see what I mean. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you those 3 timeless manifestation techniques that I always go back to, which I find to be very potent, very powerful, and sometimes I'll go through phases of where I use them, and then what happens is I learn something else and I start using that, and I forget about these. I know, wait, just put them from the front of the burner on the oven, I put them in the back burner, and then I forget about them. And then eventually I'm like, oh yeah, that's on simmer, it's over there, and then I go get it and I come back to it and I'm like, whoa. This is powerful. That's kind of what happened. There's some of these techniques I'm going to share with you I shared on early in my YouTube channel, kind of transformed the way I look at it. But nonetheless, I started applying them again and they really work powerfully. So I'm going to be sharing those with you. Now, before we get into those techniques, understand a technique is simply us giving ourselves permission to make a shift. Because in our reality, we experience a reflection of what we believe to be true. We get a reflection of what we believe to be true. If we believe a certain technique works, then it will work. If we believe a certain technique does not work, then it won't work. Our belief in the technique itself has a huge determination as to what actually happens with it. So it depends on our buy-in, but here's what I want to help you buy into. You can choose to buy into it or not, but it's a perspective that I think can change your life. It is knowing that manifestation is a natural byproduct for the way reality works. There, I said it. It's a natural byproduct for how reality works. You don't even have to try to manifest because it's already happening. You may say, well, Aaron, I want to attract a person in my life and it's not happening. Well, then you're still manifesting a lack of relationship. You may say, well, I want money in my life, but money's not coming into my life. Well, you say, well, you're manifesting a lack of money in your life. If you see everything in your life as a manifestation itself, you see that manifestation is a natural byproduct of how reality works. The power in that is knowing that you're powerful. You may say, well, I want to create more of what I want. That's what I'm here today to share with you, is these 3 techniques that will help you create more of what you want. But the first part of this is me just sharing with you that if you break apart your beliefs about how reality works in general, then everything begins to change. You see, this is the thing. People, and even me, let's change our beliefs about money. Let's change our beliefs about relationships. Let's change our beliefs about health if we're not experiencing what we want. That's powerful. But what if you changed your beliefs about how reality works? What if by doing that, you then take away all those specifications, all the details, and then you change your life in a very holistic way? Then everything begins to change because you change the way that you relate to life. So for this, that's what I like to do right now, is just to put your attention on understanding that in life, you're always manifesting. It's just, what are you manifesting? You're always attracting something to you. It's just, what are you attracting to you? If somebody says, I don't believe the law of attraction works, you will attract circumstances that prove to you the law of attraction doesn't work, which means, of course, it does work because you're getting exactly what you believe you deserve and exactly the way you believe reality works. You see how it works? That is the power of our belief about this process. Now, the truth is, in life, all truths are true. Whatever we believe to be true is reflected back to us. So these 3 techniques, I'm going to share with you in a minute. I know you're like, Aaron, just get into the techniques. I just want the techniques. These 3 techniques have no power other than the power you give them. Other than the power you give them. Now, here's the thing. These 3 techniques are very easy for our mind to understand and easy for us to connect to. Therefore, it makes it easier. And there's a lot of us that are using it, so it almost increases the probability of it in the collective consciousness as well. However, if you don't believe they work, then you're not going to follow through with it and it won't work for you. So the reason I say this is because I want to give and put the ball in your court. I want you to know that this is up to you and what you believe to be true, because you are where all of this comes from. That's how powerful you are. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That was a quote by Henry Ford. I think it was Henry Ford. Some important person. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So be aware of that. And as you're aware of that, you'll find that then you start to more so create what you want. I'm going to check this, make sure this is filming my audio real quick. Here's the funny thing. It's not so funny, But I filmed this video twice already. This is my third time filming this video because every time I did it, the batteries were dead. I didn't realize the batteries were dead. I was like, oh, it wasn't working. I turned it back on. So now, this is the third time. Third time's a charm. And baby, I'm in the flow state right now. So it's all good. You feel me? So let's get into the first technique. You're like, Aaron, just tell me the technique, bro. Just give me the technique, bro. Here it is. The first technique that I originally had on the back burner, originally I talked about my YouTube channel, then I put it back burner, now I'm like, whoa, this is really powerful, is simply the sleep technique. This is what you do. This works powerfully. This is something that you want to do every single night. And this is what you do. As you're going to bed at night, you are shifting from an alpha beta state. Beta state's the more alert state, kind of the stressful state. The alpha state's the relaxed state, but still alert. Then you have the theta state. The theta state is where the subconscious mind is. Now, most of our life is ran by our subconscious mind. And when we're consciously trying to change things, it takes a lot of repetition. Now, there's a hack to it though. If you feel the emotions of what you want to experience as you fall asleep at night, as you drift off into the theta state, what ends up happening is as you're drifting off, you are then influencing and you're making whatever emotion you feel, you're making that emotion become your new default emotion. And it is influencing your subconscious mind because the language that your subconscious mind speaks in is the language of emotion. So as you fall asleep at night, feel the emotions of what you want to experience. And here's a hack for that. When you do it, imagine it as if you're in it. So I wouldn't imagine Aaron on stage speaking to crowds as if I was watching a movie and watching Aaron do it, as I like to talk to myself in the third person sometimes, by the way. Instead, what I would do is I would imagine me on stage looking out at people, smiling, using my hands, go and expand your awareness, doing these hand gestures that I do in my YouTube videos just on stage. And everyone's like cheering, they're like, yeah, expand your awareness. They're all doing it together with me. And I'm wearing my merch. Like I got it all kind of like visualized. But I visualized as I looked down at my merch. It says, do you even shift, bro? Do you even shift, bro? It says it right there. And then what I do is I look up at people and I'm like, what's up? What's up? I'm like, okay, let's shift our life. Here's 3 manifestation techniques that will work like magic and all of this stuff. And then I'm doing it there. So you see, I'm able to connect to it in that way. But not like you're watching it on a movie because you don't connect to it as much then. Now, I find it, I don't know if it's ironic, metaphor, hyperbole, whatever symbolism, whatever this is. It's funny though. Not funny, but one of those things. When you're a kid, you are primarily in a theta state up until about 8 to 10 years old, which means you're going around, you're absorbing the beliefs of your environment, you're absorbing the beliefs of your parents, the emotions that are around, and you're just absorbing them like a sponge. And until you become aware of what those patterns are, or you become aware of those emotions, you'll continue to live them out most of your life because the subconscious mind runs most of our life experiences. Now, the hack to this is as you're going to bed at night, feel the emotions that you want to be feeling, to experiencing, because as you go from a beta state to an alpha state to a theta state, you then have about a half an hour of buffer time to influence your subconscious mind. And as you do that, you make that emotion more of your default emotion. It becomes who you naturally are. Feel that emotion as you go to bed at night. Watch what happens. This is very powerful. I have also created a meditation, very powerful meditation, called The Feeling is the Secret, which is off of a book by Neville Goddard. I made a meditation that you can listen to every single night. If you commit yourself to the next 21 days to listen to this meditation, I believe it will change your life. So that's going to be in the top of the description box. I'll remind you again at the end of this video, but commit yourself to it. Really, I want you to see how powerful this is. Listen to it as you fall asleep, and you'll find that your life begins to change in a powerful way. Now, the second manifestation technique that works like magic is one that I've, once again, put on the back burner, and I'm now looking at it again. It's called segment intending. Segment intending. Now, here's the thing. If you simply start to set more intentions in your life will begin to change. Simple as that. Intentions are direction for probabilities that you want to experience. What is the difference between desire and intention? I'll tell you. Desire is an emotion that we have, a longing for something else. Desire is only powerful once it is translated into intention. Now, desire vibrationally says, I really, really want that, which also saying, I really, really don't currently have it, because if you want it, it means you don't have it. Now, the difference is intention is a plan for action or a plan to experience it, an expectation and the direction of it. So for example, I can desire to put up my hand right now, but that desire does nothing because it doesn't mean I'm going to do it. I'm like, okay, I desire it, but I'm not going to do it. But if I set the intention for it, I'm like, boom. Intention is synonymous with action as well. So be aware of that for you. What more intentions could you be setting? Now that was also from a book called Reality Transurfing, by the way, that analogy that I just used. But it's about understanding that when you translate desire into intention by having a clear focus of what you want, you increase the probability of you experiencing it. Most people are completely in the autopilot mind. They're just in reaction to everything that's happening to them. And because they're in reaction, they're not actually experiencing what they want because everything is stimulus response, stimulus response, stimulus response. Therefore, they're not creating their own reality. They are, but they're just creating the same things over and over and over again because we get in life a reflection of what we think, act, and feel. And if they're doing the same things every day, or the same things every day for this, they'll continue to create the same results every day. Set more intentions to wake up from this. Now, what is segment intending? I'll tell you that too. Segment intending is, think of a segment as a small chunk of your day. So for example, when I go and film this video, I set an intention that I get into a flow state. I set the intention that I enjoy making it, that I help people, and it's valuable information for people. And as I do so, it feels amazing. Now I'm going to start setting the intention that I make sure the sound is always working first time so that I don't have to redo it 3 times. But this video is coming out pretty lit, so I'm happy with it. So set the intention for that. Then I'll set the intention to go edit the video and to have a fluid editing session, to have it all happen easily, all come together, and then not to check my phone, to just be focused. And then I'll set the intention to drive safely to the gym. And as I get in my car, I'm like thinking about how I'm going to drive to the gym. I'll be present at the moment, not checking my phone, listening to an audiobook or whatever. And as I do that, I'm increasing the probability of that happening. Now, it just takes a minute or two. It's not like I'm sitting there for like 20 hours, like, I'm going to film an amazing video. I can't wait to do it, blah, blah, blah. It's like just a couple seconds. I intend to film a great video. I intend for it. I intend for this. I intend for that to go smooth, all this stuff. Then I go do it. Now, here's the best part about this process. As you do it, it compounds over time. So you do it, and then what happens is as you do it, then the next day you do it, it then compounds. So when I go out to my car now, I automatically am thinking about safe traveling in traffic. Because it is just a natural byproduct. It's a natural of me going out there. I'm anchored into that state. I'm anchored into feeling that emotion, which makes it easier over time because then you don't have to think about it as much. Then your autopilot mind becomes the setting the intention. You see how powerful this is? This is so powerful because then you're waking yourself up from the autopilot mind. Set more intentions for segments of your day. Watch what begins to happen. Now, the third technique that works like magic, that is timeless, is one you've probably heard of before, but I'm going to explain it in a different way. It is called acting as if. I'm sure you've heard of it. Acting as if. Acting as if is powerful because you start to embody the vibrational frequency of the reality you want to experience. Here's what makes this different, though. Most people are focused on the outer circumstance they want to experience when they're acting as if. Well, I want to be very wealthy, and I'm going to imagine myself with money, and I just make it rain in my living room all the time, just money, 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 money everywhere. That's what I imagine. I'm going to act as if I have money. So I'm going to get I'm going to get this Monopoly money, just throw it in the air and be like, see, I'm acting as if. That's not the way you want to go about it. Instead, what you want to do is you want to focus on the vibrational feeling of you doing what you're passionate about, because this is the thing. That passionate feeling is who you are. When I make these videos right now, it's who I am. This feels amazing. I love making videos because this is who I am. That's why it's so easy for me to do. Some people are like, Aaron, you work really hard. Why do you work so hard? Don't you believe in the law of attraction and just allowing things to come to you? But then I'd be denying myself because I love making videos. So this is more about vibrational frequency. When you act as if and you align it to your passion, that's when magical things begin to happen because then you also raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, you then start to experience a reality that is equal to how you think, act, and feel, because your vibration is a combination of what you think, act, and feel. Your reality then becomes an equal to that vibration. So follow your passion. How do you find your passion? You set the intention. Set the intention to find your passion, and you'll start to see clues as to what that could be. That is the power of this process. Now, acting as if is more so about being who you really are. When I imagine the best possible version of me, I imagine me traveling the world, speaking in front of crowds and stuff, and doing kind of what I do on YouTube, but in person. Now, the key, like I said, is to imagine it as if you're in it, like I was mentioning earlier, and to imagine the qualities and the emotions you'd be feeling. And then to simply realize that that's who you are. That is you. And as you realize that, it becomes more and more your reality. It becomes something more so that's easy for you to embody. So be aware of what that is for you. And be aware of that passion feeling. That passion feeling is who you are. That is this connection to your higher self. And when you're in that state, you're in a higher vibrational state to where things happen easier. If you're in the lower vibrational states, shame, fear, guilt, all of those negative anger, then trying to manifest is hard because you have those lower vibrational emotions keeping you down. Instead, find your passion. When you find your passion, you get out of those lower vibrations, and then you're in a higher vibration, then your reality will manifest much easier for you. Now, of course, you're always manifesting something, but if you're in the lower vibrations, you're going to manifest more reflections of those lower vibrations. So think about this in terms of vibration as well. But it's not faking it till you make it, it's just letting go of what doesn't serve. I look at myself speaking on stage. If I have a belief right now that says that that's difficult to do, that doesn't serve me. Doesn't mean I need to pile on a belief that says, Aaron, that's going to be so easy for you to speak on stage. It's easy, it's easy, easy. I don't have to think about it being easy. I just let go of the one that says it's hard. Because as you let go, you begin to raise up. Just like a bob under the ocean, a bob, like a fishing bob. You have a bob there. If you push it down, you let it go, it just goes back up. It's the same type of thing. Let go of the negative beliefs, you just come back up. That's the power of it. So it's more about letting go than piling on. That's the main thing here. So, just to recap, the 3 manifestation techniques you can begin to apply today that will change your life is, first off, simply understanding the power of, as you fall asleep at night, feel the emotions of what you want to experience, feel it inside of your heart, understand this is a head and heart connection. When you do that, everything in your life begins to change. The feeling is the secret guided meditation. Listen to it for 21 days. I promise you, stay consistent with it and watch how your life begins to change in the top of the description box below. Secondly, setting more intentions. Set the intention for certain parts of your day for things to happen, or for intentions that you have for outcomes. Watch how it compounds over time, and then you'll start to see that your life begins to go in the direction you want, rather than being at the effect of everything in your life. And then thirdly, acting as if. Another thing with acting as if is be aware of what that version of you think, does, and feels, and the emotion of that version of you, and make sure you link it up. Some people are like, I want to own an art gallery studio. But they're not taking any action to make art every day. They're not studying the business model of an art gallery. They're not trying to meet people already in the industry. They're not doing anything for it. You're not really acting as if. When I did this, I started making daily YouTube videos because I knew the version of me that was a daily YouTuber, a daily video YouTuber vlogger, was making daily videos. So I became that version of me. By knowing that's also who I am. So if you're passionate about art, that is who you are. You don't have to try very hard. Just set the intention to more so act as if, but make sure it's connected to your passion. You don't know your passion, set the intention to figure it out. So, with that being said, that meditation, let's do it with all of these. They have to have consistency. If you do it once, it's not necessarily going to work because you have years and years of piled on beliefs that no longer serve you. Make it a consistency. Commit yourself right now to the 21 days, the feeling is the secret, and watch how your life begins to change. And commit to it. So, with this as well, something else I do is I do almost daily live Q&As on Instagram. If you want to follow me here, go ahead and I interact there. I would do almost every single day. Plus, I post daily content there as well. And I also do a lot of stories there, so it's more behind the scenes and stuff like that. If you don't have an Instagram account, you can make an Instagram account real quick, and you can also get that content as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button or the notification gear in case you want to see the daily vids. That's why you have to do it now. Some people say they don't see the daily vids. That's why you have to hit the notification gear. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.